everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm Janine Haas, and I'm excited to have you here this morning. That was some hot off the presses video of our new G800 arriving and making its NBAA debut. Joining me this morning are a few members of the Gulfstream leadership team. So Derek Zimmerman, our President of Customer Support, Scott Neal, our Senior Vice President of Worldwide Sales, Lita Chong, our Senior Vice President of Government Programs and Sales, and Josh Thompson, our Chief Financial Officer. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mark Burns, our President, who will take you through our media brief this morning.
Thank you. Doesn't look too difficult. How are you guys today? Well, it's really a pleasure to be here this morning, to be back at NBAA after a couple of years away. So it's an exciting moment for us. You saw the video of the 800 landing, and I'll try to walk you through some of the things that are going on. But it certainly has been a time of great excitement for us as we bring on a new generation of airplanes, and we're really excited about this opportunity. So as you think about how our mission has evolved, particularly over the last decade, we started with this vision: how to create the world's finest aviation experience and deliver that on a daily basis. That really was the foundation of this new generation of airplanes that we've created. And you look for ways to ensure that every employee of Gulfstream and every customer of Gulfstream understands how that vision works. And it is us really trying to create the moments along their journey and our journey that are memorable, and making sure that we're doing the right things to ensure that we're doing all we can to make sure the vision comes true. As we look forward, I had a chance to go by the static display as I came in this morning. Truly an exciting display that we have. So we have the G280, the G650ER, G500, G600. We also have two of our G700 demonstrators, and they really show the flexibility of the design that our team has created. If you have a chance, please take an opportunity to go on both airplanes. They really show the difference in design efforts that we put forth. And as Janine said, the G800, really excited about what we've got to do with those two G700, 800 flight test programs. Are going extremely well. I'll talk about those for a minute. And then we also have here the G400 mock-up that we've been showing and that we unveiled at the launch event for the 400 and the 800. Really exciting space for us to return to. So a fleet update. I'll try to go through each airplane a little bit, just give you a little color on how things are going, and then my intent at the end is to talk about the marketplace and what we see today and what's transpired throughout this year and looking forward to next year. So in 2014, we embarked on an effort to create a new family of airplanes. And in 2014, we envisioned the G400, the G500, the G600, the G700, and the G800. That was the long-term vision for us. We announced those airplanes in a different order than we started planning. We did that based on the timing in the marketplace, making sure that we're replacing our older legacy airplanes. And so today we believe we compete in this market with a Gulfstream for every customer mission. Part of our original endeavor was to make sure that we gave our customers choices. As the maturity of business aviation happens all around the world, people start reassessing the types and missions, types of airplanes and the missions that they have. And that was our endeavor, to be ahead of that aviation maturity. So G800, exciting airplane for us, 8,000 plus nautical miles. The airplane is doing quite well. It's a very mature design, as you would imagine, based a lot on our G700 effort that we've gone through. So the airplane flew for the first time earlier in the year, and then just a couple of weeks later, 10 days or so, we took it over to Farnborough. And we did that with the understanding that we had a mature, reliable airplane. We'll only have 2 flight test airplanes for G800. We're going to leverage the effort that we have put forth on G700 to certify this airplane. G700, again, take the opportunity to come see the new interior design, just extraordinary. You can see the performance numbers there. We have 5 flight test airplanes. We've almost completed all of the development and company tests, and we're now, we'll spend the rest of this year and into the beginning of next year finishing up the FAA flight testing scenarios that they have. Airplane's done quite well. Very reliable airplane. Performance numbers exceed our original expectations, so we're really excited about getting these airplanes to our customers as soon as we can next year. G650, when we announced the G800, we said we would stop building the G650 and G650ER once the 800 came online. The market had a different thought. We've had tremendous market penetration all around the world since that announcement for G650. In fact, it's probably the most active sales market on any model that we have. We've increased the rate of build in 2022 for the 650. We've increased the rate for next year for the 650. And we'll see where we end, but we will definitely build 650s longer than we anticipated when we announced the G800 as a replacement. Hard to believe, but we've delivered over 500 now. I think I walked down the line the other day and we're about 530. So these airplanes continue to come off the line in very efficient fashion. We continue to invest in the airplane with things like steep approach and some of the system improvements that are part of an evolving airplane, but we continue to invest in G650ER even today. G500, 600, so almost 180 in service now, so we're fast approaching 200. You may recall we had an AD on the airplane recently due to a hard landing event that we had. The airplanes are so incredibly intuitive now. They give us great insight into everything that happens on just about every facet of flying the airplane. So we quickly understood what occurred. We quickly understood that we could remedy it. We worked closely with the FAA to get it resolved. I think it was an incredible effort by both our engineering and our maintenance team to get those issues resolved. The FAA leaned forward with us. I will tell you, it was a very cooperative effort. It was a very thorough effort with a lot of flying and a lot of simulation of the software. So I think it was one of those moments where we've created a level of trust with the FAA that I think will help us going forward as we certify airplanes. I talked about with the administrator last time we met, I thought that transparency was important, that we trust each other, and that we be candid with each other. And I think that came through on this. We have finished updating all the airplanes now that were impacted by the AD, so we've 100% completed all the in-service airplanes. We have a few airplanes, I'll call it 25 for rough numbers, that deliver in the Q4 and first quarter of next year that have been updated, but when they go into service, the customers will not see any restrictions. 400, as I said at the launch event, this was a space that was largely left alone for about probably 20 years. And you'll get a chance to see the cabin experience of the G400 out at our chalet at the static display. It is going to be an incredible airplane for that space. The cabin size, the speed of the airplane, the range of the airplane, all very, very significant improvements in that space. So when you see 2025, you think, well, that's a ways out, but it's 23 almost now. So it goes really quickly, and we're truly excited about it. We're going to announce today and during the week that we're going to expand our manufacturing for the 400, 500, and 600. So as we envisioned this new fleet of airplanes in 2014, we also envisioned how we would manufacture these airplanes most efficiently. And that is to build the 400, 500, and 600 in the same facility on 3 different lines. So that is part of our long-term vision, and we'll start expanding very, very soon. So the G400, that's first flight without a wing. So as I talked about this long-term vision, it was to create an opportunity to have common design philosophy, to have common manufacturing philosophy, and to have common service philosophy, so that for years to come, we have the ability to become more and more efficient in every facet of what we do. And you can see the 400 coming together. That'll be the very first flight test airplane that we will fly later next year. We have the second airplane that's coming online as well. There'll be 4 airplanes in the G400 flight test program. We're excited about what that program holds for us. Again, building off the experience of certifying the 500 and 600 in 2018 and 2019. And an area that we've seen tremendous growth. There's obviously a great deal of uncertainty around the world. We have 12 special missions airplanes going simultaneously throughout our facilities. Thanks to Lita and her team, that market continues to grow for us. We started this as a G550 platform, and now we use the pre-owned market for 550s to continue to populate these airplanes. But it has been very successful for us. We just delivered the 3rd Compass Call airplane to the United States Air Force, and we hope that that will be the 3rd of a program of about 10 or plus. We'll see where we end up. But a very successful endeavor for us, and one that we've become hugely efficient at doing. So the market, this is always the question I get asked most often: how's the market? Scott and I answer that question probably 5 or 6 times a day. I will tell you that 2020, as COVID hits, the market paused, as we all know. But by the end of the year, as the vaccine became effective, the market turned quickly. And 2020, the end of 2020, and throughout 21, huge pent-up demand. We saw a significant increase in activity on every model airplane. That carried over into 2022, and we've had a strong start to the year. The customers have shifted a little bit. At one point in time, we were selling about 50-50 internationally. It's shifted back so that it's a little higher in the U.S. now. A much more mature market, obviously here in the U.S. for ownership. But there's also, as we've gotten through the initial onslaught of pent-up demand, we're seeing more return of corporate customers and traditional buyers of airplanes here in 2022. So market is strong. 21 was a record year for us. 2022, again, started with great momentum across every model airplane that we build. So good strength going throughout 2022. Now, as we go forward, the market continues to expand. It has been that way for many years. So we're going to do a world tour of the G700, and we're going to go from South America, Latin America, to Europe, to the Middle East, throughout Asia, Australia, to show the airplanes up close. You don't do that if you're concerned about the reliability or the maturity of the airplane. We feel very confident. The airplane that you will see during this world tour will be largely the airplane that we will deliver to customers based on all of our activity. Okay. No, that's not what I want to do. There we go. I think I'm okay. Hold on, Emily. Don't rescue me yet. So the world tour is very exciting. Scott and his team have been planning this for a while. We're excited to show the new airplane to customers and prospective customers. I talked about the plan. So we come up with this plan, and when you think about all the things that we focus on every day, that's designing the highest performance airplanes, making sure that we're efficient in how we manufacture, but also thinking about the next 40 years. How are we going to service these airplanes effectively? And we've been for over a decade now with Derek's leadership adding to that service capability, adding new facilities, modern facilities that match the airplanes that we're building. So we're really excited about the growth that we have had and the growth that we will have going forward. So we'll open a new component, I got ahead of myself. So Alliance, Derek and I had a chance to go out and cut the ribbon for the grand opening here just recently. The exciting part is the hangar was full, so that's a good thing. I can't think of when we've built one too big, so that's a good thing. Alliance will be a footprint where we can grow. So this is about 200,000 square feet. We'll be bigger than that at some point in the future, and they've been very accommodating to help us get started there. Derek spends a lot of time working with the colleges and the technical schools in the areas where we go. You want to be somewhere where you can develop a long-term workforce. So Dallas is an important area for us. So we'll add to our component repair facility capability there with a new $55 million investment in Dallas. We'll also expand our completion capability in Dallas. So we will not abandon Love Field. We will grow that capability that we have at Love Field. And then you've heard our announcement about Mesa. Mesa, Arizona is going to be another area where we believe we can grow significantly into the future. So we will invest in a large facility, one of our largest facilities that we have under the Gulfstream banner in Mesa. We've taken a hangar there as an interim hangar. Derek has done so well getting employees hired and getting customers into the base. We're going to take a second hangar there prior to the build of the larger facility that you see here. The permanent facility is scheduled to open next year. So part of this endeavor to create this new family of airplanes is also create a new family of service to help support those airplanes, to help Derek's business grow around the world. You can see the places where we are today. I will promise you that's not the end of the plan. This is an important part of what we do. When asked, I tell people the core of what we do is design airplanes, build airplanes, and service airplanes, and that is the culture, the core of our culture. One of the other things that I think has been important to this vision and this investment in R&D is that not only are we making new airplanes, we're making things that make airplanes safer with many of our suppliers through the years. But this is a new one, Flight Pulse. I won't pretend to go through all the details right here, but I will tell you it's an opportunity for crews to review their performance and to make changes where they feel necessary. I'll give it akin to if you were the coach of an NFL team, you watch film on Monday morning of how you did on Sunday and you make the necessary adjustments. That's what we're trying to do, is make airplanes safer and make crew members safer as well. And I will mercifully get to the end here and say, you know, that word unprecedented has been used a lot lately. And we are going at a rate faster than we've ever gone before. But I will tell you, we planned for this moment since 2014. We planned for all of this. We planned for all of these airplanes. We plan to expand all this manufacturing capability, including our wing facility. So very soon we will build every wing for a Gulfstream airplane under the same roof in Savannah. And we've been working toward this service infrastructure that meets the demand of our customers. So this is unprecedented for us, but the good news is we plan for this moment. And sometimes timing works out. You know, we announced these airplanes at a moment in time that the market was receptive. So it was really, really exciting for us. The G800 program, based on all we've done on the G700, I think goes extremely quickly. We've had a great deal of conversation with the FAA and EASA. Just came back from Cologne last week, visiting with EASA about 700 and 800 and the things that we've done and how efficient we can be together on the certification. We talked about manufacturing expansion. We do have issues, as everybody does, with supply chain. But the good news is I think that's also kind of in our wheelhouse. We're good at being partners with our suppliers, and we have not missed a delivery this year due to supply chain constraints. Now, it's not without its moments, I'll promise you, but we've done an extremely proficient job of staying on schedule. Customer support, I say this sometimes rather flippantly, but you never want to trust your customer relationship to a third party. And I know that upsets some of the third parties, but our endeavor is to make sure we understand the experience every Gulfstream customer is having. And to do that, you have to invest in the facilities and the people that allow that to happen. And then I'm excited about this special missions opportunity. It continues to grow. LEDA has a number of prospects all around the world. Obviously, some of the geopolitical issues in Eastern Europe and the Middle East and places like that have certainly caused some tensions that these airplanes can help be a part of solving. So exciting week for us. Thank you for joining us this morning. I implore you to come out and see the static display and the number of airplanes and the 800, 700 especially, and then the 400 mock-up. I think it'll be a good investment of your time. Thank you very much. I'll turn it over to you.